Alicia, for more on this, let's bring in former DHS senior advisor and former supervisory Secret Service Special Agent Charles Marino. Charles, you know very well this situation, and I want to just go a little deeper in CB's great reporting there, playing that tape of the frustrations of local law enforcement. We have a map. We can just show you the aerial of the open area where this event was going to happen. And the frustration is on the left side of your screen there, that rooftop left open. Then what followed were reports of a man on that rooftop, and then the decision to put the protectee, former President Trump, on that stage despite all of those shortcomings. What do you make of it?
Well, by not posting somebody on the roof of that building, which was evidently a threat that needed to be mitigated, we saw an epic failure of the overall security plan. And the responsibility for that epic failure starts and ends with the Secret Service. They are responsible for mitigating those threats and assigning state and local law enforcement as needed. This all could have been prevented in a 5-minute conversation to articulate the need to take that building out of play from being a threat. And because the shooter was able to access that roof, we saw chaos result from it. We saw a lack of coordination, we saw poor communication, and we saw a lot of frustration on the part of state and local authorities because essentially, based on the poor plan that was put together, they were set up to fail.
Was this gross negligence or incompetency? I mean, how do you, when you put these pieces together, and the more we learn, Charles, it seems that it's an unfathomable failure.
Well, it is, and there's definitely an element of incompetence, inexperience at play here. When I hear that law enforcement officer say that he told the Secret Service that building needed to be protected and eliminated from being a threat, there really should not be a need for anyone to have to tell the Secret Service the risk that location of that building posed. They should have seen that right away with the direct line of sight that it presented to the stage where the former president would be speaking. So it's extremely frustrating. It's embarrassing for the agency, and no one's been held accountable yet, Griff. The longer it takes to hold somebody accountable, the worse it is for the overall credibility of the agency.
Absolutely a question there. Let me go a little deeper in one other thing in CB's reporting, and that is this report from Senator Grassley's office talking about the number of times crooks went to the gun range. We can show you here a little bit more of that. He visited 43 times, did target practice 3 to 6 times per month, and last visited the gun range 1 day, Charles, before the assassination attempt. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, certainly pre-planning for this attack. There's no doubt about that. That was evident right after this situation happened and based on the movements and the ultimate location where the shooter set himself up to take those shots. So he had been to those locations before. He was familiar with how to operate the weapon. The question is, who has the ultimate responsibility for notifying law enforcement in these types of situations in the event that somebody is suffering from mental health illness and has access to firearms? And here, that rested with the family because of the limited social media presence of this shooter. So, you know, it really was left to the family. They did not see anything uncommon that raised any flags. And here we go. We had somebody that was prepared to carry out this attack. And practiced.
Here we go indeed, and you gave me the perfect segue to an attack that was foiled before, thankfully, it happened, and that is the third man now arrested in the attempted terror attack on the Taylor Swift concert in Vienna. We know the 3 individuals pledging allegiance to ISIS, bomb-making materials found in one of the men's homes. We had the National Security Communications Advisor, John Kirby, weighing in on the U.S.'s cooperation and help in foiling that plot. Listen here.
We work closely with partners all over the world to monitor and disrupt threats. And so as part of that work, the United States did share information with Austrian partners to enable the disruption of a threat to Taylor Swift's concerts there in Vienna.
Thank God coordination stopped it. Now, Taylor Swift has some concerts coming up in London at the end of next week.
Well, there will definitely be elevated security preparation in London as part of this larger threat. And look, this is a reminder of the threat environment across the globe, especially the heightened threat against U.S. interests and persons. ISIS is in operation. They are still able to coordinate and radicalize around the country. We see this with the emergence of ISIS-K. We saw that in the attack at the Moscow concert hall. We saw this type of attack at Ariana Grande's concert in 2017. Large gatherings at sporting events and concerts remain a top target around the world, including here in the U.S. And there are hardened targets, of course, but there are also soft areas prior to people coming into these arenas and stadiums that need to be paid attention to as part of the overall security plans for these large facilities.
And that is the dangerous part of it, that soft target area. Charles Marino, thank you so much for coming on today and your great insight.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.